Hello students. So in the previous video we saw the formation of image by convex mirror, concave mirror. We saw about what is linear magnification and what is mirror formula. We studied about those things. Now we are going to have some more numericals. We did one more numerical also in the previous video, and based on the mirror formula, magnification, everything. Now we are going to do one more numerical, and this numerical will be from NCERT. The question is, a concave mirror produces 3 times magnified real image. I repeat myself, a concave mirror produces 3 times magnified real image. So if it is 3 times magnified, then what does it mean? The value of small m is 3, and as the image is real, so it will be negative sign. It will have negative sign there. I repeat myself, if the image is 3 times, so the value of m is 3, and as the image is real, so minus sign should be there. So the value of m is minus 3. The question is, a concave mirror produces 3 times magnified real image of an object placed at 10 centimeter in front of it. So the u is given as 10 centimeter. So we know that u we always write in minus. So where is the image located? The question is to find v. It is very easy. Now we know that m equals to minus v by u. At the place of m we can write minus 3. At the place of v we can write v, that we need to find. At the place of u we can write minus 10. So it will be v equals to minus 30 centimeter. Then the image is being formed in front of the mirror at a distance of 30 centimeter from the pole. This is easy. One question is there that the magnification produced by a plane mirror is +1. What does it mean? It means that the first thing is that the value of m is in positive, so it will be a virtual image. The value of m is 1, it means the side of image is equal to side of object. So virtual image, erect image, and side of image will be equal to size of object. And also the image distance is equal to object distance. So this is what we have studied about, and we did some numericals based on the things. One more numerical we can do, which will be based on convex mirror. Whatever numerical we did till now, that was either based on concave mirror or plane mirror. Now the numericals that we are going to do will be based on convex mirror. So the numerical that we are going to do is now based on convex mirror. An object 5 centimeter in height. So the height of object is 5 centimeter, and we know that the height of object we always take in plus, because we always place the object upright. Is placed at a distance of 10 centimeter. The value of u is 10 centimeter, but we will write minus 10 because of sign convention. At a distance of 10 centimeter from a convex mirror of radius of curvature 30 centimeter. So if radius of curvature is given 30 centimeter, we can find the focal length will be half of radius, will be 15 centimeter, and we know that we have already discussed in the previous video that the convex mirror has focal length positive always, because it is formed on the right hand side. The value of small f is 15 centimeter. We need to find the nature, that is the image is what? Real or inverted or virtual. First thing this we need to find. Then we need to find the position, that is the image distance, and size, the height of the object, height of the image. These are the things that we need to find. So first we are beginning with, we know have a formula, mirror formula, 1 by v plus 1 by u equals to 1 by f. So first we will find v. So the value of u we are placing 10, minus 10 it will be plus 15. So 1 by v equals to 1 by 15 plus 1 by 10, 30, 2 plus 1. Therefore v is coming plus 10 centimeter. That the image is being formed behind the mirror, and which is on the right hand side of the pole. So we can say that the image is being formed behind the mirror because the value of B is coming in positive. After that, now we can find M. We know that the value of M is minus V by U. Formula of M is minus will be there. The value of V has come plus 10 and U is there minus 10. So it will be plus 1. So the value of V is M is plus 1, and what does it mean? Am I correct? Just correct myself. One mistake is there, and the mistake is this: it should be 2 and should be 3. So it will be 5 by 30. It should be 6 centimeter. It should be 6 centimeter, and the value of V is 6. Then it will be 6 by 10. That is 0.6 plus 0.6. If it is plus 0.6, the value of M is coming in plus. What does it mean? It means that the image which is being formed here is virtual and erect image. Okay, so the nature of image now we have, the value of V also we have. Now we need to find only H2, that is size of image. Now we know how we have a formula M equals to H2 by H1 also. The value of small m is given here 6 by 10. The value of H2 we need to find, and H1 is given, the height of image object is given 5. So it will be 3 centimeter. The image is diminished also. And the value of H2 is coming positive. What does it mean? It means that the image is also upright. It is not inverted. And that is, I think we knew it previously, because when the value of M came in positive, what does it mean? It means that the value of the image will be virtual and erect both. So I think now we are clear with all the problems, all kind of problems that we may face in concave and convex mirror. Okay, so now we are going for the next part of this chapter. Now we will go for refraction of light. Reflection of light we have finished, and depending upon that we have finished the mirror also, which in every case of the mirror. Now we will jump to refraction of light, and when we will study about refraction of light, after that we will study about lens. And then again there will be two kinds of lenses, concave lens, convex lens. All the image formation we need to revise, repeat in this, and again some numericals will be there. So now we are going to start refraction of light, not reflection. Now we are going to start refraction of light. So sir, what is refraction of light? As discussed in the previous class for a very short period of time, that in reflection what happens, that a ray comes, strikes a surface and comes back to the same surface. It doesn't penetrate, okay, because it strikes a surface which is not transparent, which it cannot pass. It strikes a opaque surface. So that is reflection of light, in which light strikes and comes back. But in reflection of light, when the light will incident, it will penetrate or it will try to pass through the another medium. Suppose there are two mediums, air and water. When a light is coming from air, then at the surface of air and water, it will not reflect back. It will move into the water, but there will be many changes in the path, there will be changes in the velocity, many things are there that we are going to study now. So what is refraction of light? The change in direction of light when it passes from one medium to another medium obliquely is called refraction of light, or the bending of light when it goes from one medium to another medium is called refraction of light. Suppose we have two mediums here. Suppose this is air and the lower one is water. So when your ray of light comes like this, it bends little bit. It changes its direction of motion at the interface, at the junction of the two medium. There are two mediums. There are two mediums. Air is another medium, having different density, water is another medium having different density. So the change in direction of light when it passes from one medium to another medium obliquely is called diffraction of light, or the bending of light when it goes from one medium to another is called reflection of light. Okay. Now why it will bend, what are the cause of refraction, that we are going to study today only in this video. The first thing is that the ray which is coming is known as incident ray. We can draw a perpendicular at the point of incidence, which will be known as normal, as of all of us know, and this will be known as refracted ray. Okay, so the light ray which is coming and is striking the surface is called incident ray. The perpendicular drawn at the point of incidence is called normal, and the light ray which is being refracted or which is and with the change direction is called refracted ray. Now the angle between the incident ray and the normal is called angle of incidence. Angle between refracted ray and the normal is called angle of refraction. As we had two laws there, we have two laws here also. But before starting those two laws, we must know what are the kinds of medium. What is the meaning of rare medium? What is the meaning of denser medium? And what is the cause of refraction? These are the things that we need to study, that we need to understand. The first thing is what is rare medium, and then denser medium, and then cause of refraction. These are the things that we need to know first, then we can understand it better. The first thing is that what is rare medium? Rare medium or denser medium can be understood easily, if we compare two mediums. Suppose if I am comparing air and water, we can simply say that comparatively air has less density than water, so air is rare medium and water is denser medium. But if we take water and glass, we know that comparatively glass has more density than water, so now water will become rare and glass will become denser. So it depends on the situation, it depends on the medium with which you are comparing. If you compare air and water, water is denser, air is rare. But if you compare water and glass, at that time water is rare and glass is denser. So water once it is becoming rare, once it is becoming denser, depending upon the other medium what we are taking and with which we are comparing it. So it is better now, I think you understood what is rare medium and what is denser medium. Now let us go for the cause of refraction. Suppose a ray of light which is coming from air, when it is coming from air, it is experiencing very less opposition from air because the density of air is less, and because of less density it is experiencing it experiences very less opposition and it remains little bit free to move. So the velocity of light in air medium is also remains more. But when the same light comes to the water, as the density of water is more, then the opposition to the movement of light, opposition to the propagation of light in the denser medium becomes more, which reduces the velocity of light in that medium. And when the velocity of light will reduce, or whenever the velocity of light increases, decreases, reduces or changes, the direction of the light must change. And that is what happening here. Here you can see the light is coming from rare medium and it is going to denser medium. When it comes from rare to denser medium, so after coming in denser medium, it feels more pressure, it feels more opposition, so velocity gets reduced, and so when the velocity will get reduced, it will bend towards the normal. But take an opposite case of that. If a ray of light is traveling from denser medium, that is water, to rare medium, that is air, then what will happen? It will feel less pressure, there will be less resistance offered by the medium, so it will move away from the normal. So what we can assume, what we can get from here, so when a ray of light is traveling from rare medium to denser medium, it moves towards the normal because of increasing pressure, decreasing velocity, increasing resistance. But when a ray of light travels from denser to rare medium, it moves away from the normal because of reducing pressure, reducing air resistance, increasing velocity. So now we can say that what are the cause of reflection? I think this is also clear for all of you. Now we are going for, as we know that in reflection we had two laws. The first law was incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal all lie in same plane. The second law was angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection. Similarly, in refraction also we have two laws, but it is not totally similar with reflection. One law is little bit similar. The first law is that only the incident ray, refracted ray and normal all lie in same plane. Okay, so this is I think similar with the first law of reflection also. But what is the second law? Second rule is that sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction. I repeat myself, the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is a constant term which is known as refractive index and denoted by mu. Which is known as what? Mu is known as what? Refractive index. I repeat myself, the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is a constant term which is known as refractive index of the medium and it is denoted by mu. Okay. Now we will study about mu. We will study in detail about refractive index. What is refractive index, sir? Refractive index is a property of the medium. Refractive index is a property of the medium. And the medium with more density has more refractive index. So you can say if you compare air and water has more refractive index than air. Similarly, if you compare water and glass has more refractive index in comparison to water. But refractive index is a relative term. Suppose here when the light is coming from this medium to this medium and we are doing sin I by sin R, so we are finding the refractive index of which medium? First part is that there are many confusion regarding refractive index, for which to make it clear you need to watch this video till the end. The first route is that, so when we are doing sin I by sin R, so we are finding the refractive index of which medium? The first medium, the second medium. So when we are doing the sin I by sin R, we are finding the refractive index of that medium in which the light is finally going. So when the light is coming from air to water, we are finding the refractive index of water by doing sin I by sin R. But if light is going from water to air, we are finding the refractive index of air by doing sin I by sin R. Okay. So this is the first thing, just clear I guess, that we find the refractive index of that medium in which the light is finally going respect to the first medium, relative to the first medium. This also must be kept in mind. We are finding the refractive index of the medium in which the light is going respect to the previous medium. Here if I tell you, when the light is coming from air to water, we are finding the refractive index of water respect to air. We need to like this. We need to find that we are finding when the light is coming from air to water, we are finding the refractive index of water respect to air. In the second case, when the light ray is going from water to air, we are finding the refractive index of air in respect to water. You can see these two things and they are thus opposite to each other, so we can write. So they are reciprocal to each other. This also we can write. Okay. So if you have refractive index of glass with respect to water, and if you need to find refractive index of water with respect to glass, just do the reciprocal of that and you will get the answer. I am making myself clear again. Suppose if you have refractive index of glass with respect to water as 1 by x, anything. So if I tell you to find the refractive index of water with respect to glass, you know, sir, water with respect to glass will be reciprocal of glass with respect to water. It will be 1 by x, which will be x. So like this you can find. You can find very easily the refractive index of one medium with respect to the another medium if something is given there. Okay? But the refractive index are of two kinds. Here you can see, here whatever we are finding, this is relative refractive index, because we are finding the refractive index in comparison of one medium with the another medium. One more refractive index is there, which is absolute refractive index. And what is that absolute refractive index? We can find the absolute refractive index of any medium when the first medium or any one medium is vacuum. I'm just trying to make you understand. Wait. Okay, so when the light is coming from, suppose the light is coming in water, this medium is water, light is coming from vacuum. So if the light is coming from vacuum, at that time, if we find the refractive index of this medium, this will be the absolute refractive index, because we cannot write refractive index of water with respect to vacuum. With respect to vacuum means absolute refractive index. So whenever we find the refractive index of any medium by taking vacuum in comparison, by taking refractive index of vacuum in comparison, it becomes absolute refractive index. And the refractive index of vacuum is having the value 1. Okay? Okay, one more thing I need to make it clear here only. That, sir, what is the relation between velocity of light and refractive index of light in a medium? I repeat myself. What is the relation between velocity of light and refractive index of light in a medium? Ri means refractive index. So we have already discussed previously here only that if the speed of light will get, if the density is increasing, the speed of light is getting reduced. Similarly, if the density decreases, the speed of light will increase. So what we know, that the speed of light and density of a medium are inversely proportional to each other. We can simply write here mu is inversely proportional to V, or V is inversely proportional to mu. We can write, suppose this is medium 1, this is medium 2, speed of light here is V1, here it is V2, refractive index is mu1, it is mu2. So when the light is going from medium 1 to medium 2, we find the refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1, which we can also write like this, mu2 by mu1. Here mu2 and mu1 are the absolute refractive index of those mediums, which may be written equal to V1 by V2. So you can write, you can see here that when I am writing 2 by 1, it is 1 by 2 in case of velocity. So we can simply say that refractive index of light and velocity of light are inversely proportional to each other. Okay. Now suppose the first medium is vacuum. If the first medium is vacuum, then we will find mu2 only, which we can write only mu, because there is only mu1 will be 1. Then we no need to write mu1 and mu2. We can just write mu. At the place of speed of light in vacuum is what? We denote the speed of light in vacuum as c, and the value of c is this much, 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. And suppose the speed of light in other medium is v. So this is also relation when one medium is vacuum. And we can write simply mu equals to c by v, where c is the speed of light in vacuum, v is the speed of light in that medium of which we need to find the refractive index, and mu is the refractive index of that medium. So this is all we have studied about refraction of light in denser medium, rare medium, laws of refraction. Yes, one more thing. The second law of refraction, which is sin I by sin R, is also known as Snell's law. S-N-E-L-L-S, Snell's law. So these are the things that we have already studied today. Many other things are there that we will do in the next video.